Good evening, everyone. Scott Barrett here with the Newport Daily News, the To Be Named Later Vodcast, episode 6. I got a couple special guests here tonight. This would be Shannon Ward. This would be Tom Milburn of the Rogers High School softball team. Star pitcher and now graduate of Rogers High School. And coach. Well, yeah, but you know what? It's funny because I was thinking about it. I was looking up the preseason. It said that you're in your second year, but how long this is your second stint here, right?
Yeah, I kind of came back and forth. So it started in 2002, helping my sister Trish and Karen Palmer.
Yeah.
Then carried over to around 2011. Left, went with the Little League and Thompson.
Right.
Came back, helped out Lauren Dunbar, and then when she left, just kept going. So,
yeah, I mean, but so you never really got out of softball coaching. You've been
with these guys forever.
Right. All right. Well, let's talk about last year. You went 12-5 last year, and you brought back a whole ton. And so I went back and looked at our season preview, and you just kind of knew that you were going to be good. So how good did you think you were going to be? I mean,
what you saw.
Right.
I definitely thought we had that talent. We had Division I type talent.
And you proved it. I mean, you beat a few Division I teams out there.
Yeah. And we can play with them. And we definitely just don't have the depth maybe that they do all the way through a lineup or on the bench, but we definitely can play with them.
You know, when you were a freshman, Shannon, were you the starting pitcher as a freshman?
No. I came in when Kaylee was hurt, right?
Yep.
I came in and I had to pitch most of the games that time.
Right. And so you guys got to the D3 final that year and lost to Mount Hope.
Yes.
But did you guys going to Division II kind of happen at the right time with the collection of talent that you had? Like, you would have dominated D3, and these girls wouldn't have gotten any better.
Yeah, it wasn't. And I'm not going to speak for Shannon, but I don't think they enjoyed themselves in Division III up until they finally got to play Mount Hope, because Mount Hope was another very good team.
Right.
So it was like going through a bunch of teams that you knew you were going to beat just to get to that point to play that one team that you knew was going to be a battle. And for me, that's not a lot of fun. I don't think it's a lot of fun for the players.
No, definitely sick of the slow pitch.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was great moving up to D2.
What were your expectations coming into the year, knowing that you were the number one pitcher to kind of guide this team to as far? I mean, there's a lot of talent around you, but we know softball. Softball is all about pitching, and you're the number one pitcher. It was going to go as far as you threw them. Did you have any expectations on this season? Was it state championship or bust?
Yeah, pretty much. From the beginning, we knew we would try to make it to the end, and we didn't, but I think we're pretty happy with how far we came.
At what point during the regular season, you go 15-1 during the regular season, so a great regular season. The one, what happened with the one hiccup? Was it when Socket on the 4-3?
Socket on the road, we just
long ride, might I add.
Long ride, just didn't get anything going. And even in that game, right down to the end, we had a shot at coming back and actually winning that game, and we actually made a couple of mistakes. So I think it was a good wake-up call. Right.
I mean, you as you go through the course of a season, if you don't face any kind of adversity, you'll have no idea what that's like. Did you have to say, girls, we're not unbeatable?
I don't think I had to say it. I probably did. I don't think I had to say it. But, I mean, it is a coach's, when the season's going so well like that, it is a coach's dream to have a little bit of adversity to talk about.
Right.
And use to their advantage.
Right.
I think I tried my best to use that, but I had leaders like Shannon. I don't really have to say those things. I mean, Shannon knows that. She's going to speak that. Izzy knows that. She's going to speak that. Our juniors are all leaders on the team. I don't know. I just think everybody.
Yeah, it was a good wake-up call. I mean, it was such a smooth ride until that point, and just smack in the face.
Maybe almost too easy.
Yep.
So you get 15-1 in the division. You get into the playoffs. You roll past Tiverton. You roll past Tollgate, and then the first time against South Kingstown, and you're leading 3-0. You end up losing 6-5. Was it just one of those things where things just happen so quickly? I mean, that must have,
Yeah, like during the last few innings, everything just fell apart. And we came back, and it just wasn't enough in the end.
So, I mean, obviously you could have just kind of packed it in. You go into the losers bracket, but, you go and you beat a St. Ray's team that didn't lose during the regular season once, and you came out and you kind of just steamrolled them. 5-0 was the final there.
Yeah.
Kind of just steamrolled them. I mean, were you feeling good? Staying in that losers bracket, but going on with one loss. That must have been a huge confidence boost there.
I think, if you're able to watch that game against St. Ray's, we didn't really get going too quickly with the bats. But you never had a doubt that we weren't going to win that game. She just dominated them. I mean, 15 strikeouts. It was all curveballs and movements, and you can literally see it from the side how much her ball was moving. I didn't think they had a chance against us.
And our hitting in the bottom of the lineup was really clutch that game too.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, from top to bottom, I mean, you had pitching and you had hitting. I mean, you had all the elements that made success possible. All right, so
But with the one loss to South Kingstown in the playoffs up there, I mean, we rolled the dice a little bit, took out Shannon at one point, thinking maybe show this very talented hitter something else. Got her to 3-2, came inside on her, and she was able just to fight it off and send it out to center field. And that was the difference in the game. It was taking a risk and didn't really work out. It was really nothing the players did wrong. I mean, that's just coaching. It took a shot at it. It didn't go well. That one definitely falls on my shoulders.
Well, so you get a second crack at them. You get them at home, which is, again, this is the work that you did during the regular season. You earned that home game. And I'm listening to the call. I was right at my desk, right over there. I was listening to the call. And, what did you say down 1-0 going into that seventh inning, down to your last 3 outs, and and you're up. I mean, a fairly strong part of your lineup coming up as well.
I think, correct me if I'm wrong, which I normally am, but I think in Nahuatl I just pulled everybody, including Shannon and Izzy, who would normally go in the dugout and get ready, and just said, we press in these moments too much because you feel like you have to be the hero. Just do what you normally do in this situation. You'll get the hits, you'll come through, and you'll be a little more relaxed. And, I mean, I think they already have that mindset, but it's just reminding them.
Right. So you rally against Faith, who's a very good pitcher. I mean, you guys were
sister, Samantha.
You guys were throwing up zeros for the first 5 innings.
Yeah,
it was an
good job.
unearned run in the fifth that allows them to take the 1-0 lead. You load the bases, no outs, and Isla Newsome. I mean, so you're tagging right away, because I saw the video of it. So you see it. Who's at third? Are you at third?
I'm at third.
So are you saying tag or it's tag?
well, I know.
Right.
And
right.
him, and him.
Right.
Both.
Right. I'm sure he's not letting you.
No.
So I mean, deep enough to go, and did you get a good jump?
I believe so. Yeah.
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 All right. Well,
As soon as she caught it, I knew all I had to do was get home, and I
take it from here.
as far as I could.
What happened?
All right. So when I tagged up, basically all I thought was just trying to get home, and that's what I did. I believe so. And I ran as hard as I could, and when I knew sliding in, I knew I was safe. And to hear him yell out, it's good thing I didn't go ballistic because I probably might have.
Right. So I mean, did you jump up and plead your case? Did you? I mean, you came in to ask.
Well, I think there's one picture that tells.
I tried to stay calm.
But for somebody you said doesn't really talk a lot, or you don't hear her voice a lot, you can see the picture of her reacting with her hands up in the air, like
Pointing at the
what are you
ball.
talking about?
Yeah.
My view is actually blocked by her body.
Right. So you guys are on the. So you're on the third base side.
If she slides in, it's actually her body blocking me. What I saw, and I was 100% confident, was she simply beat it.
Mm-hmm.
She had gotten under the tag, or the tag ended up on her knee. That's what I could see.
Yeah,
the
I remember
timing of
rolling
that.
on the ball.
But as I'm going towards home plate to plead that, I see the on-deck hitter, Shea, right on top of almost to home plate, pointing down at the ground at the ball.
Right.
Shannon's arms are up in the air like, are you kidding me? And Trisha Donnelly's coming in from first, jumping and screaming. And I can see the reaction, obviously, of the people in the stands, too. And I look, and I see the ball under her leg.
Yeah.
And that's when I start pointing to that, going, the ball's under. And he says, I think it was on the transfer.
He's saying it's on the transfer, but if you go, and it's all over Twitter, it's it's everywhere you go. I mean, it's all over social media. But there's this one particular picture where if you were just going to put it together through the snapshots, there's this one where the catcher doesn't looks like she doesn't
Doesn't
know where the ball is.
Yeah.
She can't. So, I mean, if you're on a transfer,
Yes.
you're pulling it out of your glove and it escapes your hand and you follow it because it escapes your hand. There's one where she just doesn't look like, she's looking back. She's going to the backstop.
Mhm.
The ball is right under your leg.
Right, yeah.
So,
At that point, I'm upset, but all in my head, all I need to do is get him to go talk to the other umpire.
Right.
And we're good. So at that point, he's out there. And
so where's he stationed? He's stationed between second and third?
so because, and we can go through this too, we should have had 3 umpires. We've always had 3 umpires in that game. But since they moved it out of Rick, for whatever reason, they decided to go with 2 umpires in that game. That's a disservice to the players.
Yeah.
So we would have had 1 umpire on that first base side while 1 was on that third base side. So the first base umpire clearly saw it.
Mhm.
Well, he's on that second, third base side.
Yep.
Now he is on second, third base inside the lines. He can easily see.
Sure, he's got an angle.
I'm outside the lines blocked, but he could have saw that. But apparently he saw nothing.
Right. I mean, but what's he looking at? Like, what else is there going on the field? I mean,
doing that. So
right.
I mean, in my mind, this is the most important play of the game. Yes, there's other runners running, but the only thing you need to see is that play at home because that's the only place there's going to be. That's the only place there's going to be a play, and not to be watching that. Once again, obviously, the end result hurt.
Are you shocked? I mean, are you? So I mean, you're driving home, and is it? I mean, like, at what point does it really sink in where you like maybe you're in shock on the field, and you get home, and you're like, yeah, this season's over.
The next day.
Yeah, was it?
It was the next
I mean,
day.
having teachers, classmates, friends, family come up to you and say, I'm sorry, that it was a horrible call. And it just, you kind of dwell in it. You try to forget about it, but.
Right.
It's one of those instances we always talk about trying to move forward. You got 24 hours to let it sink in, and then you got to move forward. That one's hard to. That one's hard to
Well, because you know what? Because
Keep
there's nothing to look forward to until next spring.
Right.
Or and
But
it's,
like I said,
it's tough.
but it's, I mean, she's got her going to Framingham, and we'll talk about that. But, for that group of girls, they're not moving forward.
right.
That select group of girls that were all together aren't going to be together next season. They're not going to be coming out. Just like last year's group, who we had a little controversial ending to last year, that whole group wasn't coming back this year. So for those seniors, they didn't get to enjoy this ride back. They were done. So unfortunately for Shannon, Isla, and Ani, they don't get to come back next year and take another shot at it.
Well, I did say it on Twitter, and I think it bears repeating that I thought you handled yourself with such grace with Bob Angel on the radio in the immediate aftermath, where you could still be a little bit charged up. You could still be filled with emotion. You could still, be filled with a lot of things. But you know what? I thought you handled it, great. Essentially, you said what you thought happened.
Right.
And then you just talked about the team and the season and the girls and the people, and not you didn't dwell on the call.
Well, I tried, but I mean, they deserved a lot more than that. They deserved a lot better, but they also deserve to be recognized for how good they were.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, that call was horrible. Yeah, it probably took away something that we feel like should have been ours, but it didn't take away what people around the state should look at as, one of the best players in the state. And she'll be honored for that. Kenzie Palmer, one of the best players in the state, and a lot of great players around them. So, I mean, I don't want them to lose that because of that play.
Right. Did you watch or listen or check to see who was winning over the weekend?
No.
No. Was it one of those, like, deliberately, I'm going to stay away and I'm not going to – I mean, everyone probably knows now. South Kingstown went on to beat Situate twice, one on Saturday, one on Sunday, and they are the champions. Do you feel it could be you?
I feel like it should be us.
Yeah.
I feel like it should be. But no offense to SK. Good
Right,
job.
right. I mean,
they're a great group of girls, very talented players. They weren't going to win that game. That we were going to win that game. We tied the game. We were going to score that winning run. We were going to win that game.
And even if you didn't, you would have at least given yourself another life. You would have given yourself the 8th inning or however long it would have
extra
gone.
innings. She just keeps getting stronger and stronger as she pitches. Lily was warmed up and ready for when she couldn't go any further. We would have been just fine going longer that night.
As a coach, let me ask you this, because I've been thinking about it. If you were on the other end and it's your player or it's your team that gets the benefit of that call, how do you handle that? I mean, because that's a tough one, because you put him in a tough spot to come out there. Like, he can't come out there and say, guys, you know what? I saw it. She was saying, like, how do you do that?
Those two coaches, I would say this, they clearly did not see the play.
Yeah.
Because they were on the same side as I was, so they were blocked out.
Right, their dugout is on the third base side.
And the catcher would do just what our catcher would probably do, try to grab that ball and chew the ball, if they call for it. It is tough because we've actually had that conversation with people about, those sports that are built on the integrity piece. The tennis in high school, you call your own game, you ref your own game. Golf in high school, you officiate yourself. You claim when you do something wrong. They're really the only two sports that do that.
Right.
Everything else, it's if the official didn't see it, it never happened. If the official called that ball foul and it was, called the ball fair and it was foul, you just keep playing.
Right.
So it's tough.
It is tough. I mean, it's a.
I wish it was.
I'm not saying like you would be morally corrupt if you didn't say anything, but I mean, I've been doing this a long time. I don't know a lot of people that would have, said, yeah, right.
I don't either.
Right.
I wish it was that way. I really do.
All right. Well, let's talk about Framingham State.
Okay.
That's how you got there. So how did you get there? So you play AAU. You play with the Bombers.
I do. Bombers League. Yes.
All right. Now where's that out of?
Warwick.
Okay.
And I've been playing for 2 years now. And so, I was up at a tournament that the Framingham coach, Miss Larry Miller, he came up to me and he wanted me to check it out, see how I felt. And I really loved the campus, the team, the girls seemed really nice. And so I decided to check that out and go with that.
Was it early in the, did you get to look at a lot of schools, or did you kind of fall in love early?
It was pretty early. I mean, the beginning of school, I basically had my school selected.
Did that kind of ease? A lot of people will struggle with that, and it will maybe affect their grades, or it will maybe affect their mindset through sports.
Mm-hmm.
To get that out of the way early, was that good for you?
Yeah, I saw a lot of my friends that were kind of stressing about what college to go to, and I basically had it planned out already, so kind of the weight off my shoulders with that.
What do you know about the program as far as their pitching depth? Like, where are you going to fit in starting next year? Are you going to have to wait, or are you going to get in, get some innings right away? I
think I'll get in just fine. I don't think I'll have a tough, waiting around or a long time. I think I'll be okay. And
pitching's it. Like, you're going there to pitch?
I can play outfield too if they need me to. If they need me there, then I'm up for it.
I was going to say, is that true, Coach?
That's very true.
Were they impressed with your hitting as well?
Yeah. I will be hitting too.
So listen, you've played with the Bombers. So you've been around pretty good talent. Where does this Rogers team? how good was this team?
Rogers?
Yeah, this past year. These AAUs. You're probably kind of like an all-star team, but this is a pretty good collection of talent you had at a very small high school. Even by Rhode Island standards.
Yeah, to compare them, they definitely have the talent to hang in with them, and I couldn't ask for a better team.
You gonna miss it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very much.
Well, let's talk about the future. You're obviously losing an extreme talent here, but the one thing you did say to us at the start of the year is that you had pitching depth. You have Lily Bestoso. Jamie is a pitcher as well. Jamie Ward is Shannon's sister. Do you just keep this?
Four more in the pipeline. So.
Right. So you just kind of keep this skyrocket going?
Well, that's what we thought coming into this year. Last year we had 6 pitchers on our roster. Kelly Palmer and Shannon doing most of the work of varsity. Mm-hmm. Lily and Shay doing most of the work in JV, getting their reps, and then they got their reps during summer ball. And I think this past year, Shannon got most of the reps deserved. We just kind of rode with that. Lily got decent amount of innings. Shay plugged in here and there. Jamie and Julia got work with the JV to keep them pitching. So we do have the arms to do a lot with. Now they just have to make sure that they're at that level we need. And I think they will. Talking about summer ball, Shannon's going to pitch a lot, but Jamie's going to pitch a lot for her team. Mm-hmm. Hopefully overtake Shannon as number 1 over there so she get more time.
Yeah.
Because I'm all done. But then Shay and Lily are going to be pitching for their travel team. So hopefully they get a lot of innings this summer and build off of that. Not sure what Julia's doing, but hopefully she'll get some innings this summer as well. And then we'll come back with 4 pitches that will be ready. And I mean, as far as the depth is concerned, I think I counted we had, including the freshmen, 9 girls who were playing travel ball during the summer, that's an extraordinary number for us.
I had another question. I mean, I don't know what the Little League or Thompson program looks like, but what is the feeder program? How are you guys able to build this talent? Is it girls who are dedicating themselves to softball I know you play volleyball, but a lot of year-round work on the game?
It is. I mean, we went back when these guys were younger. We worked hard with the Little League, and that's kind of where I went because my daughter was in it.
Mm-hmm.
So I left Rogers, went to that. But you realize just how much time you had to put in down there to get a lot of girls. We had a lot of athletic girls playing softball, some who didn't even play at Rogers, and I thought were still talented players. But we put in that effort, had a lot of coaches who were involved, a lot of parents who were helping out. Then we started our own travel ball to try to get them playing more. That's how you get better.
Right.
You know, you can't pick up a bat and throw a ball 4 months a year, 3 months a year and think you're going to be great.
Yeah.
You're just not. It's not going to happen. I seen the improvement in so many players this year. You know, our sophomores came back. They were good. They were real good. And that made a huge difference on this team. So you got to play.
Right. So, do you plan to stick around? I mean, coaching for a while. I know that your daughter is a sophomore now or a junior now?
Junior now, be a senior next year.
Just senior next year. I mean, are you going to follow her after or wherever she ends up going? Or
No, I mean, I kind of, when I started doing this after Lauren left, I'm year to year.
Yeah.
So coming back this year, after I changed my jobs within the school system, was going to be a little difficult because I'm at a later school. Tried that with a lot of help from people at that school. I was able to do it. We'll look at next year's schedule. We'll look at those things and see if I can do it. If I can do it, I'd love being around them. This year, I would say was one of the best years I've ever coached with attitudes, enjoyment. I mean, they were just a great group to be around. You enjoyed going to practice every day.
It sounds like it's a real program too. It sounds like you're building, in the support system that you have, not, yourself, the players will police themselves. The coaches are doing everything. You guys almost look like you're building, what could be a program for a long period of time to, sustain success.
Well, the tough part is the pitching. I mean, Shannon takes great pride and dedication in what she does to be as good as she is. And, you watch Lily, Shay, Jamie, Julia, they've done the lessons, they've done the work to get to that point as well. Behind them is, I don't know who's pitching. I haven't seen, middle school didn't have people pitching a lot, so they're not putting in that time. So I don't know what's going to happen afterwards because, like you said, without pitching, it's a tough sport.
Right, you better get on your sister for that.
She'll be ready. She'll be fine. She's a junior.
Right. Yeah.
It's seniors and juniors. That's all we got for pitching after this year. So
how were you able to improve from your freshman year, where like you said, it was kind of slow pitch D3, to really one of the best pitchers in state?
I mean, it was really just travel ball. I mean, you get to play with all these great athletes from across New England. Some even coming out from California, and those are some great competition out there. So being able to play with them, it's really helped.
And you didn't go all year without a championship. You won one.
Yeah.
You were part of the Division III volleyball championship this year. And by the way, I mean, we're talking about great matches, games. You guys were down 2-0, I believe, to St. Ray's. You got best of St. Ray's once again. You ended their season twice.
Yeah.
So they had a feather in your cap. You ended St. Ray's season twice for that. Well,
good.
Yeah, you're right. Well, I just want to thank Tom Milburn and Shannon Ward here for coming in to the Daily News office. Oh, we have any questions here? Oh, Matt Kessler thinks it's a travesty. Well, I mean, he's not wrong.
No.
He is not wrong.
He's one of our biggest supporters.
And too bad it had to end that way. Yes, I think we all agree with that. We would have loved to go up to Rhode Island College. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for coming in. Best of luck at Framingham State. Go get them. Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.